What do mascots of mischief, disco balls, monogram, and rustic lettering have in common? Well, I'm not getting to eat until I finish recording this episode, so hopefully you're going to find out right now. These inventive, engaging themes all make the list of the top branding trends for 2022 and 2023. I've looked at some sampled opinions from our global community of graphic designers, and their selection illustrates that many different ways that people and brands are responding to a pandemic-dominated 2021. And wow, might I say, we have some talented humans out there. The new world that we live in post-COVID is not much different than the world before, where many had differing preferences for the brands that they like. Some have gravitated more toward the eco-friendly, all-natural approach, and others could really care less about saving the planet and just want the oohs and the ahs from a new brand that they experience. Now, keep in mind, my team has multiple branding projects actively ongoing even right now, and as designers, you guys may know, even though you know the trends, the client may not, and they are still going to get what they want. So knowing these trends, how to talk about them, these can help you convince your client that the direction that you're trying to go in is a good one. And if you're a business owner, of course, this episode will just help you stay relevant and on top of the competition. We're going to go over 7 ways brands are beginning to trend in 2022 and can start off 2023 with confidence. The first trend that we've been seeing across the globe is eco brands dropping the eco look. With our world facing an existential threat from climate change and species loss, sustainability has moved firmly into mainstream media and just about everyone else's peripherals. From global treaties to grassroots campaigns, eco-friendly messages are still becoming more and more common. I'd say there's plenty to celebrate based on that fact, but with the crowded market in green designs in 2022 and 23, how do brands and campaigners avoid consumer fatigue and make their branding designs fresh and distinctive? This year, it seems as though eco brands dropped the classic green and brown hues and moved away from classic images of trees and rivers. Instead, many are defining their brand with more personal, conceptual, and on-the-pulse artwork that will hook eco-friendly buyers. The second thing that we're going to be seeing trend, which is a favorite of mine, is the more wacky, disruptive type of branding. Looking sharp and sleek is all very well, but it can make your product look like it's just come out of a focus group meeting or sometimes a factory line from the years prior. In 2023, many brands are going to be looking to showcase a different side to their personality, and apparently messy layouts, jumbled words, and amateurish artworks are all kinds of anti-art that we are seeing increasing in brand design. One of my favorites in this realm of design has been around for years and years, and that is Chipotle. You'll see it on their bags, their shirts, website, and many other places, the crazy, fun lettering and brand style that they present. Now, whether it's wild lettering that makes shoppers look twice, an all over the place craft beer label that maybe looks like it was actually put together by a tipsy brewer, or maybe it's a wine brand that just wants its bottles to be enjoyed by casual enthusiasts rather than wine snobs, the disruptive branding gives companies the chance that they need to show that they don't play by the rules, ultimately gaining our attention for a longer period of time. Our third trend that we have been seeing and will continue is monogram branding, using the initials or a combination of the letters to uniquely stand out. As flexible employment and freelancing have grown increasingly important, more individuals have needed to brand themselves as a business. Abbreviated logos are short, snappy, and can give partners and clients the feeling that they're buying into something special. Monograms are increasingly popular branding design trend in 2023, and let's not just wear it out, okay, everybody? Let's not do that. There are nothing new about monogram brands. They've been used on Greek coins as far back as 350 BC and can be seen in fashion brands today, such as Louis Vuitton or Chanel. We've all seen it. But there is a great option for the modern freelancer, which is by uniting 2 initials into a single symbol. It provides a strong statement of who you are. They're versatile enough to slot in the middle of business cards or in the margins of web pages, and that flexibility can help viewers appreciate your versatility. And with the world of fonts and colors out there, the abbreviated logo is another great way to show off your brand's creativity. Now, the fourth trend was newer to me and was something I had seen before, but I hadn't known the name of it. Introducing to you charming line drawing and scrawling. We've been seeing brands choose to base their identities around handwritten, unpolished lettering and illustrations more and more often. These logos and brand messages, rather like the disruptive branding that's also making waves this year, can kind of look like they've been created in like 5 minutes sometimes. But by giving a word or picture a bold, childlike form, it can help suggest a shape that the branding is charismatic and unpretentious as a company whose products are built with human hands and guided by genuine passion. A good example for this would be how Build-A-Bear designed their boxes that kids took the bears home in. They were designed to look like little houses, even though it's really just a simple blue hand-drawn lines on a white box. Our fifth trend coming out of 2022 is retrofuturism. Toward the end of 21, it was gaining popularity, but brand designers are stepping on the throttle as we move into 2023. As money moves further and further from physical notes and companies open up their augmented reality visions, such as Facebook's metaverse, brands are embracing increasingly techy and futuristic designs to keep up to par. Images might be picked out in ultraviolet or feature dynamic patterns that echo digital networks or even neural pulses. Mysterious symbols and crisp lines are common with many of these hypermodern branding designs, giving everyday or organic objects an evocative twist, a mix of the real and aspirational that points to the future while keeping consumers' feet on solid ground. This is something that our company, Alpha Social Media, did in order to convey that we are not just a social media company, but a company that will be adapting into the AR, VR, and whatever else world's technology has to bring forward to us. Now, the sixth trend for brands is including a brand mascot. And yes, just like in middle school or high school, that's what I'm talking about. Brand mascots tell a story about a company and, as with the best marketing campaigns, have a definite life of their own. Many of them also have a classic feel, partly because today's most prominent mascots were created decades ago. For instance, the Michelin Man was created in 1898, and Tony the Tiger all the way back from 1952. But after a quiet start to the century, mascots are starting to make a comeback in 2022 via clever branding designs that are packed with sly humor and personality. Some, like the Kinky Onion, recall the designs of the 1930s and 40s. Others, like our mascot over at Alpha, are cute and add a sense of character or friendliness to our brand. And lastly, our seventh and final trend identified is neon and the 80s, with everyone from Dua Lipa to Charli XCX to Coldplay channeling the synth pop and disco from the 80s. We're running it right into the 2020s. Dynamic brash branding designs complete with neon pink and yellow, flickering strobes, and dance floor vibes are helping designers finally give brands a fun, sparky visual identity. With unconventional text alignments, flamboyant dancing figures, and Tron-style grid patterns, this trend in branding has many reference points back into the 80s pop culture. With fluorescent 80s tones and shimmering visions of the future, jaunty line drawings, and playful mascots, many of 2022's trends come with more than a hint of optimism. Not everything is flamboyant, of course, but even the more restrained developments point to climate care, personal development, and finding joy in the moment. We may not be swinging into a bright new world quite yet, but these colorful and engaging branding trends suggest that 2022 should brim with some life. Now, as we move into 2023, as you know, you may have heard this episode and now have a desire for some new branding or brand elements, even like a mascot. This is something I would love to help you out with. I'd love more and more projects being introduced into our world. It's so fun to see all the things that can be done just from a computer and all the different industries that we can pour our life into. So we would love to hear from you if you want to talk about anything related to branding or graphic design. I hope today's episode is very helpful for you, and I will be rolling the outro.